I was texting with him throughout last night's proceedings of Thursday Night Football, as well as the wild card game between his beloved Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. They came back, his beloved Padres, from 4 down. Looked like their season was on the brink in the you-know-what. But then the dynamic Fernando Tatis Jr. starts to get rolling. And now the Padres are forced to Game 3 with the St. Louis Cardinals. Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show. What is it like, DJ? Just tell me, because, again, I'm still waiting for that to happen in my football world. What is it like to sit back and see somebody that you know is so dynamite and you're going to have him at your disposal for a very long time? What's that like, Daniel? Tell me what it's
like. I can't put it into words, Rich. I've suffered through so much bad baseball for the last 14 years. And on top of that, it's bad and boring baseball. You know, like at least when the Padres of my youth, when I was a kid, when they were bad, you had Tony Gwynn, who was worth the price of admission to go watch Tony. And taking nothing away from Tony, who's the greatest, Padre of all time, and arguably the greatest human contact hitter of all time. This is a different level of excitement watching this kid, man. Like it is electric. I feel like. I've got some mixture of King Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez, and the kid's 21 years old. It's unbelievable.
The bat flip and the look into his dugout to his teammates as he hit the second home run to put them up significantly is, that should be your avatar on every social media you have, Daniel. That's it, right there.
I actually tweeted it out because our good friend Dom, who you remember from NFL Media Group, who runs the T-shirt company Breaking Tea, they already have a T-shirt of it out of him flipping the bat. So I already tweeted that out because that's coming. It was so fun. I mean, I'm trying to figure out I've said the Golden State Warriors before, Rich, and I know our pitching is all hurt and we probably aren't going to go deep into this postseason. But in terms of exciting young teams in sports, are there any other exciting young teams that this kind of reminds you of that's so much fun to watch?
You know what? Let me just sit here and
Not the Jets.
No. Stop it. I'm going to get to that in a second. Let me think here. The Blue Jays aren't as good as the Padres right now, but the Blue Jays have a few of those players. Are the Chiefs considered that with Mahomes and Tyreek and Hardman and Chris Jones, right? And who,
what I would
Edwards-Helaire.
That's a good one. How about Kurt's team in St. Louis when they first got rolling there? Because that was just not only are you good, but it was just so fun to watch the way they were playing the game. It was just looked different with the greatest show on turf. That was fun.
I don't know. Maybe you could say the Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets that we just saw. I don't know, Jamal Murray is, I guess, what Tatis would be in that role, and Machado would be in the role of Jokic. I don't know. I mean, we might be stretching it here, but it's too.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure you're looking for the trapdoor quite a bit. Because when Tatis made that error trying to complete a double play on a ball he should have just eaten. And 2 runs score, and here come the Cardinals, who are kind of like, as I said yesterday, are like the baseball's version of the Green Bay Packers. You thought maybe it was going to open up a trap door, but it's a lot of fun, man, watching your team. And this kid is the real effing deal, and it's so fun for even somebody like I have no skin in this game. It's just fun, other than to be on the Mightier 1090 every day in Southern California. In San Diego for sure. We're talking we're talking to that populace right now. It's got to be just a blast. It really must be.
Yeah, it's funny. What we'll do is my brother-in-law, who's an even bigger Padre fan than I am, we'll text each other names of just random Padres. Kyle Blanks was playing first base for us not all that long ago. We've seen some bad baseball, man.
I know.
So, we're soaking this up.
All right, and I know, and by the way, I should mandate it, just to be fair and balanced here in Southern California, Clayton Kershaw struck out 13 Brewers last night, and the whole postseason problems, if you will, for him.
Doing the World Series.
That was...
wow, Brockman.
Don't worry, don't listen to him. He's pissed. He's pissed that Mookie Betts is playing for the Dodgers right now. He's very, very upset about that.
Not happy.
He can't.
That's understandable.
He can't handle
it. Hey, Brockman, question for you. I sporadically check in on the Dodgers, so I don't watch every inning. That's ever not hit a double, because every time I've ever seen him taking at bat, he's hit a double. I was just curious if he ever
he's
not hit
He's
one.
amazing. You build your whole franchise around this guy. You pay him whatever he wants.
And by the way, even if he walks or singles, he winds up on second invariably anyway. I mean, he's
always on second, and he always scores.
He's truly amazing.
How big is he, by the way? Because I've never
big.
seen him in person, but he looks tiny.
Like 6 foot, like 170.
Soaking wet.
Wow.
Daniel,
wow.
I know. Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, I said earlier this week, DJ, and this may be just the fandom in me coming out, that the Jets have broken Sam Darnold. Please tell me I'm wrong. Am I wrong?
Oh, Rich. I want to tell you that. I really do, because you know where I've been on Sam Darnold through the draft process and through the early portion of his career. I'm discouraged. To be honest, I'm just discouraged with what I'm seeing. And I know so much of it, the majority of it is not his fault in terms of what's been put around him and what system he's running and all the other issues that they have there. But, I mean, over the last few weeks, we've seen him make some of those mistakes that you shouldn't be making, 30-plus starts into your NFL career. So, and now you start looking where this is headed. I mean, you know the schedule for what they're up against coming forward. I mean, I don't see how this team's not picking in the top 3 at the end of the year. I can't see that. And then when you look at not only with Trevor Lawrence at the top of this draft, I think there's a couple other really good quarterbacks. I think things are going to have to change drastically. This is just my opinion, for this to continue down this road with Sam there. That's just the way it looks right now. It's a bummer for me, but I'll say this: if you believe in Sam Darnold, as both of us have,
yes,
and you look at the success that Ryan Tannehill has had in a new situation with obvious connection there, and Sam Darnold, in my opinion, is infinitely more talented than Ryan Tannehill. So if you end up getting Sam Darnold into an organization, like a Pittsburgh or New Orleans, San Francisco, one of those type of places after this year, would not be shocked in the least if he surpassed what Ryan Tannehill's done in Tennessee.
Well, let's unpack that a little bit more, because the Jets may have a decision to make, similar to one that the Arizona Cardinals made with their own Pac-12 Los Angeles-based quarterback when they wound up with the first overall selection and saw Kyler Murray sitting there and said, you know what, we appreciate all your hard work, Josh Rosen, but you're a Dolphin now. And what do you think about the possibility the Jets are, I mean, I saw this morning on my old network, 30%. They have the best odds right now of winding up with the first overall selection. What do you think of that decision? Because, Joe Douglas could make a total bounty in sending away the rights to Trevor Lawrence. Or you take Trevor Lawrence and you get what you can for Sam Darnold and set him free in the manner that you just described. What do you think, DJ?
I think that you have whatever option includes the best quarterback, because it's a decision that you're going to, if you get the right quarterback, as we've seen with a lot of these franchises, that's 15 years of play with that guy. So if you think Sam Darnold and you believe in Sam Darnold, but you think Sam Darnold is a B+, A-, and you've got a chance to get what you think might be an A+ talent, like somebody like Trevor Lawrence, you have to take the A+ quarterback. To me, there's no decision to be made in that case. And at this point in time, Sam hasn't shown to be that A+ quarterback. So, and the other part of it that you'd have to look at too, Rich, is that you kind of, as much as you'd love to get out the Hall of Picks, you would start the clock fresh, where now you have 5 years with Trevor Lawrence on a cost-controlled contract to build around him. And now, at least from where they were previously, you have a couple pieces in place and a ton of other picks to be able to build around your next quarterback. So I think, to me, that would be, if you just ask me what I would do in that situation, that's what I would do.
Well, and again, this is part of the reason we all know, again, that I'm a Jet fan since youth, and maybe that's part of the reason why I talk about them a lot. But this is it's a large part of the reason. But this is a national story. If you're talking about Trevor Lawrence, first overall pick, and that this is a National Football League, national football story that we are watching. However, just a moment for us to use the Kilborn phrase. Darnold is talented enough that you say that he's more talented than the guy who damn near went to the Super Bowl last year in Ryan Tannehill. So the right system and setup would provide him the success that he deserves. So I want to read to you something Sage Rosenfels tweeted out last night. He said he doesn't think Adam Gase game plans for each team. They run about 3 formations and almost never have shifts or motions. Coaches move guys around for multiple reasons, specifically to help the QB see the defense and wide receivers to get off bump coverage. The Jets line up and snap it. Is that what you see too?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious. It's very static. And you watch a team like the 49ers and look at all their pre-snap movement, and look at the Rams and all their pre-snap movement and what they do offensively, and it just gives you a lot more to think about. And they dress things up, and they identify coverage. Motion can help identify coverage for young quarterbacks. You see what they're in. Peyton Manning, here's the thing, though. When Peyton was playing, Peyton liked everybody to kind of be static because he wanted the defense to get lined up, and he could read their mail because he's so smart and so experienced and had studied so much.
Right.
So he played static, and he liked that. He didn't want all the other shifts and motions. Well, Adam Gase, his biggest sponsor that helped him land some of these jobs is Peyton Manning. But you don't have Peyton Manning. This is not Peyton Manning back there. So I don't like it. When I watch the tape of them too, I just don't see anything that builds. In terms of, you look at the Rams and everything, they get under center, their run action, their play action, all looks the same. They move the pocket. Everything that Sam Darnold does well. If you go back and look at, on a weekly basis, Sam Darnold's best 5 plays, at least 4 of them are out of the offense, or of him just scrambling around and making something happen. There's not like those designed winners inside the offense. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch because it doesn't look like good offensive football. It doesn't look like good game planning. It doesn't look like good play design. It doesn't look like good play calling. And one thing that I think's been lost a little bit this year, and I'd love to get your take on it because I know how intently you watch this, I actually think, especially when Becton has been healthy, the offensive line in pass protection has been better this year.
No doubt.
Those sacks last night, Balaj gave up 2 of them. Sam held the ball too long on 2 of them. They're actually a little bit better in that area, and I think they're getting crucified for their running offense, but they don't have any speed. Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer, and he's one of my favorite players of all time. Frank's 37 years old, and he just doesn't have any juice to hit any creases. And then on a key down, you're calling a wheel route to a 37-year-old running back. Like, what are you doing?
Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show. So the subject of our poll question, ask it of Daniel Jeremiah, will you please? Because it does involve some quarterbacks and some situations that might be a touch dire based on Week 4 action. What do you have over there, Chris?
Yeah, DJ, who needs a win most this weekend? Cowboys,
Carson Wentz.
Eagles, Saints.
Sorry,
Didn't even let me finish.
Yeah, go for it. DJ, expound on that, please.
Yeah, Carson needs a win, like literally and figuratively here. He's got to get some confidence back. I've never seen him miss some of the throws that he's missed over the last couple of weeks, and bad misses. And that speaks to me of some mechanical flaws which are fixable. But the bigger concern for me is that he's just not playing confident. And you saw him just take off kind of with some reckless abandon as a runner. I think that was kind of some frustration that he's just not locked in right now. But in a division that's not going anywhere, they still are alive there, but they need Carson to get his mojo back, get some confidence back, and I think they could get things turned around a little bit here. But he's got to get back to being the Carson Wentz we saw during that MVP year, and shoot, he just has to get back to being the guy we saw last year that led a team with a bunch of backups to the playoffs. He has not played well.
He's got the yips, doesn't he, DJ? He's got the yips.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yep. And that's when you have the play to Miles Sanders down the sideline and you set that up and you have a double move and he's got 5 yards of separation and you put it 10 yards over his head, like that's not something I'm used to seeing from Carson Wentz. So he's got to knock that out of his system, and he just needs one good game and kind of refill that confidence tank, and I think they could get rolling. But it has not looked pretty.
And then I guess more close to your home to finish things up, you are, along with Matt Money Smith, part of the Los Angeles Chargers radio broadcast team here locally. Justin Herbert going to take a visit to TB12 this coming weekend. What did you make of the whole conversation about he's a backup for a reason, and Justin Herbert in his first game against Kansas City and then losing to Carolina? What do you make of the quarterback situation there, Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's unusual just with what happened with Tyrod, with the health situation. That I've never seen that before. So
right.
That's it's a totally unique situation. But I would chalk up a little bit of the Anthony Lynn comments to some frustration immediately after that Chiefs game, and a game you felt like you played better. You really kind of outplayed the Kansas City Chiefs for the majority of that game, and you had unfortunately a big mistake by Herbert in there, but surrounded by a bunch of other really good plays. And then I thought last week, again, he had the one, kind of rookie mistake on the interception before the half, which was a 6-point swing, which was huge. But he made 5 or 6 just big-time throws in that game. He started to use his legs more and do some things there. We know what a great athlete he is. To me, I look at it and see kind of what's the threshold you need to meet to stay on the field as a rookie quarterback, and I think he's met that. In other words, he's not swimming. It's not too big for him. There's more good than bad. There's going to be growing pains, but I think Justin Herbert has showed himself very well, and I'm anxious to see, as he keeps piling up some of these starts, if he keeps getting them, I think you're going to see him only get better.
All right, where are you going to watch Game 3, the rubber match, sir? What are you going to do later today? What are you going to do there?
Yeah, I think it's I just think it's stay in the same spot as yesterday, Rich.
Are you that guy? Are you that guy? Are you that guy?
100%. Well, I don't know if I'm that guy because we only go to the postseason every 14 years, so I don't really have any tendencies in this department.
That's a good one. All right.
Same shirt, eat the same lunch, do everything the same.
Well, we know he's got a new shirt.
Yes.
We know he's got a new shirt.
Yeah.
Tatis bat flip.
Tatis, baby.
Congratulations.
I feel like this interview, Rich, was a lot of positive at the beginning,
Yep.
a little sprinkle of positive at the end, and a whole lot of just tough conversations in the middle.
Well, I know it was good. It's it's kind of like the anti-double stuff because the double is a double stuff cookies got the good stuff in the middle and the hard stuff on the ends. But
It's reverse Oreo. It was a reverse Oreo interview.
It's the only thing I could think of. All right, Yankees coming to Slam Diego, bringing their Grand Slam sticks out there. We're coming.
We better get some new windows in the Western Metal Supply building.
It's coming. We're coming. All right, DJ. Thanks again for the 2 cents. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
You
All
got
right,
it.
guys, bye.
There you go. Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show.